Alright, Philip. Here's what we're gonna do. As the judge of this island, I gotta make you aware of a few things. One, these officers lawfully took you into custody for questioning. Through this questioning, as far as I'm concerned, you've given enough evidence to bring you to trial for numerous break-ins along the island. These officers now are going to subdue you, and we are going to take you to the courthouse where you will stand trial. The trial will be, you will be tried by a jury of your peers or other people who play on the Ark. Should you be found guilty of these break-ins, or admit to these break-ins yourself, you will find yourself back here for a significant portion of time. Did I make myself clear?
Yep.
Now, before the trial begins, I want to make you aware of one thing. You have the right to defend yourself at trial, at which time I will be questioning you during the trial. Should you, however, want to strike a deal and admit to your guilt before the trial, you will have a lighter sentence. Are you aware of these options?
Yes.
If you decide to go through with the trial right now, and we take you to the courthouse, and you make us go through the whole charade of having a trial, this deal about having a shorter sentence will be gone from you. So if you admit now that you did these crimes, you'll have a shorter sentence. We go to the courthouse, that deal's off. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So where are we going? Are we staying here, or are we going to the courthouse?
We are going to the courthouse.
Tase him.
Just so you know, sir, your stuff will be kept here.
Go for him.
Let's go.
Eagles, do you want to announce on the radio for everyone to meet at the courthouse?
Yes, I do. Can someone open this door?
Yep, 1 second. There you go, sir.
Does someone want to get a water bottle and put him on him?
Have you got one, Goose?
The handcuffs are on. The handcuffs are on. Just take your handcuffs off.
Have you got water on him? And food? Is there enough food on him as well? Is there enough food and water on him?
Do you want to just grab some? Just grab some of his stuff, Gaz.
Yeah, check it. Right, would you like to walk this way, please? Outside.
Put your stuff in it. Crate.
Put your stuff in this crate.
Right. Let's hold there a second. You will still be able to eat and drink, but you won't be able to really do anything else at this moment in time. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand what's happening?
Gaz.
Yeah, I do.
That's good. Hey, go ahead, Goose.
1 second, I need to do something. I need to take his clothes off for him. Have you, just knock him out again. Sorry about this, dude.
Right. I ain't got taser.
Ceasefire. How much top are you got?
It was for the armour. I mean, leave the armour on him, I think. No need to taking it off.
Right, alright then. Alright, no worries.
Right, let's move out. Let's go outside. Right, let's go to the courthouse. Let's take the prisoner to the courthouse. Just check the outside, make sure there's nobody around.
Yeah, we're clear. Let's go.
Alright, are you carrying him?
I'll carry him. I'll carry him.
What with that?
I'm just want to come inside the prison place, sir. Yeah, courthouse, sorry, not prison.
One of these cages, church.
Oh, Roger, yeah.
It's Flip, this way please. Would you just like step into the cage on the left for now? We'll just wait till everybody gets here, please.
This one. This
Yep.
one.
Over here, Flip. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wait for the judge. Flip, will you be defending yourself, or have you got a representative for yourself?
I'm gonna represent myself.
Alright. Are you okay for food and water?
Yeah.
Alright, Philip, let me explain how this is going to go. When the trial begins, we're going to ask for you to sit in the witness stand up there. It is to the left of the judge's seat when you're facing it, and you'll be sitting there while you're being questioned. At any time you're not being questioned, you will sit at the defendant's table, which when you're facing it, it will be
Would
to
you
your
like to
right.
take a seat on the bench on the left,
Well, who's that who just arrived?
please? One there.
Alright, officer, we're going to go ahead and get started. Move him to the witness stand, please.
Roger.
Yeah, there you go. Church will be the main guy. I'll be recording all events and taking notes.
Sounds good.
Come. Can you come to the witness stand? No, witness stand. Whatever it's called. This stand. Do you want to just get rid of this one here, dude?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Just a little run up. A little run up.
Oh, sit down, please, dude.
Alright, officers, I'll ask for you to take your seat. Church, you probably want to sit over here.
Oh yeah, defendant's side.
Yeah, if you want to take your seat there. Seatbelt, yeah, the audience. Alright, can everyone in here hear me? If you can't hear me,
Yep.
raise your hand, please.
If they can't hear you, how are they going to raise their hand?
Aha, it's a trick question. You know, it's a good thing we put you on the as a juror. Good thing. You're a thinker.
Yeah, we got.
Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. This is the inaugural trial that we've had in this courthouse. I want to thank our esteemed jurors for giving us their time. And I want to thank the resourcefulness of the Lextopia Police Department for being able to peacefully apprehend Philip the Gamer. Let's go ahead and begin with a few questions. Philip, would you mind stating what your profession is on the island once again?
I wanna help, I wanna tame animals, I wanna have good bases, and I wanna have fun.
This is interesting because when we were at the prison, you told me that your occupation on the island was a builder.
Yeah, and you'll
I'm glad you're forthright with this information when I ask you for it. As we also asked you at the prison, are you able to verify where your whereabouts were last night?
I wasn't active this week at all because we had 7 tests, so I needed to study for them, so I wasn't online.
That's interesting, Philip. Can I remind you of a conversation that we had yesterday over the radio?
Yes.
We very much spoke on the radio yesterday, Philip. Do you not recall this conversation?
Me?
Yes, me and you. We had a conversation on the radio yesterday.
What? On the radio. You sure that's me?
Yes, I'm very certain it's you. There's only one Philip on the island. I want to make this clear for our esteemed jurors here. When asked for his occupation, he gives conflicting answers. And when asked for his whereabouts, he's unable to remember them. Alright, let's continue. Philip, how close to the police department would you say that you live?
I live by the prison.
You do. You live by the prison, and is the prison right next to where all the police department members live?
I don't know.
Well, let me help you with that. Can I have either Church or CPRO come to the witness stand for a second?
Yep.
Yes, just stand right there, that's fine. Mr. Church, how close would you say that all of the police department members live to the prison? And, to our defendant here, Philip?
Well, we live literally next to the prison, and Philip just lives down the beach from CPRO's base, which is next to our main base in the prison.
And, what's his house like? Is it made of metal? Is it made of stone? What are we talking?
It's made of wood, and it's got a metal interior.
Oh, very interesting. Philip, if you wouldn't mind getting up from that seat for a second. I'd like to have you sit at the defendant's table right here, please. Now, I'd like to enter into evidence some conversations that we had with Philip when we were at the prison just a few moments ago. Church, when we were at the prison, when we asked Philip the Gamer about breaking into bases, what was his response?
He wasn't sure how many entrances you can make up on a base. He said 1 or 2. The rules of the island state that it's only 1 entrance at a time. So, yeah.
This is interesting. And the damage that was done to CPRO's house were numerous doors and windows and hatch openings. Were they all blown open?
Yes.
Oh, quite interesting. That a person who is unable to tell us how many entrances you can make into a base happens to coincide with a base that has numerous holes blown into it. Interesting. Also, when we were questioning Philip, what was it he said he was building?
It was building behemoth gates.
And what does it take to build Behemoth Gate, Church?
I believe cementing paste, if you're building the metal ones especially.
And as an officer of the island, are you aware of any other break-ins where cementing paste has been stolen in large quantities?
Yes, I believe some residents of the island, they got broken into and most of their cementing paste got robbed and nothing else got touched except the cementing paste.
How interesting that a person who's seeking to build many behemoth gates where you would need cementing paste...
Can I say something?
No, you cannot say something. When you're at the witness stand, you can speak. How interesting that someone who is endeavoring to build many behemoth gates happens to be a suspect in a case where all the materials for behemoth gates have been stolen. And the same person who doesn't know how many holes you can make in a base happens to live right next to a base where many holes in a base were blown into, where many of the materials for building behemoth gates were stolen from. How interesting. How interesting that this same person cannot verify their whereabouts when all these break-ins took place. Thank you, Church. You can step down from the stand there.
Okay, thank you.
Unless, Church, you have any further evidence you want to add into the record at this time.
Oh, one question I'd like to ask. Do you want to just go to the witness stand, please? Okay, how many animals do you own? Or have tamed?
4.
And can you state what they are?
I've got a trike, an RG, a direwolf, and a quetzal. And I don't know if it counts, but I'm in a tribe and they have a lot of dinosaurs, uncle and aunt, so I don't know.
Okay, so how powerful would you say your quetz is?
About the quetzal, I don't have it right now because I was playing and then my internet disconnected. So then I didn't found it, but it's still mine. So I just said that.
Okay. Would you say any of your dinosaurs are powerful enough to damage wood?
Maybe my
Let me just remind you,
direwolf.
sir, that you have to answer truthfully, or you'll be held in contempt in court.
Maybe my direwolf.
Okay, that's interesting. That's all the questions I have to ask.
Alright. If anybody has any further evidence they'd like to add to this case, I'd like you to speak now. Or if anybody has any further statements they'd like to... By all means, please come up here, C-Pro.
Philip, when we was at the prison, we was talking about, well, you was telling us about bases you didn't believe anybody was living there for a while. Did you say to us in front of these police officers that you take cementing paste out of these apparent abandoned bases?
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, you were saying that if you saw a base that seemed abandoned, you'd actually take the cementing paste out of it. Is that correct?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I was thinking that you were asking me if I wouldn't take anything. I was thinking that admins can see for how much he wasn't online. So maybe I don't know.
Let me stop you right there, Philip. Let me stop you right there, C-Pro. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, no,
let me remind you, Philip, that is not what you said. I specifically asked if you thought a base was abandoned, would you break into it and take cementing paste from it, and you answered yes. And then I asked you, who are you to determine if a base is empty or being used or not? And you said that you didn't know. That's what you said.
I said no one. I said I'm nobody. I'm no one, but admins can do it. I mean, that's what I said.
Yes, I want to remind you. You said that you would break into a base and take cementing paste and other materials if you thought the base wasn't being used.
Yes, but only if admins would say would. If only if admins would say to me that I can.
I'd like to instruct the jurors right now that this statement that the defendant is making is not truthful, and he will be held in contempt of court in addition to if his guilty verdict is held here today. Making false statements to the judge and the police officers while under oath is a crime. So I'll instruct you to ignore that last statement he made as it is false. Alright, I think we presented a lot of evidence here today. I'd like to summarize the evidence real quick. The evidence is that this man, who is unsure of what the rules are, the laws are on this island, breaking in bases, lives right next to someone whose base happened to be broken into. This person also believes that they are qualified to make the determination if a base is being used, and if they determine if the base is not being used, they have admitted that they will take supplies from it. This person also happens to have admitted under oath that they will take those supplies that match up with his building projects. So he wants to build behemoth gates, and and what happens to be stolen is the supplies for building behemoth gates. This person also cannot verify their whereabouts. You will be allowed to speak when I am finished. Please do not interrupt me again. This person also has admitted to under oath that they have the means and the ability to steal such supplies with his dinos. With that, I'd like to proceed to closing statements. Philip, if you have anything you'd like to say for yourself, this will be your last chance to do so.
Okay. First, I really wasn't online because I had school. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and they all play Ark Survival Evolved, so maybe somebody did go here. I don't know. But I really didn't talk to you yesterday, and I'm not building metal. I'm not building metal between gears because that's too expensive. I'm just building stone between gears, and that's really cheap. So I didn't really sell anything.
Is that your closing statement?
Yes.
I'd like to remind the jurors and the police officers that this gentleman here has made numerous statements that are incorrect on the witness stand. He has contradicted himself on at least 3 occasions from testimony he gave less than 30 minutes ago at the prison. If anybody else would like to make any closing statements before this trial wraps up, please do so now.
I just want to say all the evidence presented is quite substantial and convincing. That's my closing statement.
Alright, thank you very much. Anybody else like to make any statements before we wrap up here? Alright, thank you. Alright, at this time, Philip, I'm going to ask that one of the officers please escort you back to the back of the church, or back of the courthouse here.
This way, please, Philip. Down at the back of the page, please.
I would ask that all the police officers remain here and watch the defendant while I
Yeah, no problem.
speak with the jurors. Jurors, if you would please follow me, you will be allowed to deliberate upon the evidence. Please follow me.
What it is I were in a bodybuilding contest this morning on the bike.
Alright, stand attention. Our jurors will please return to the jury box.
Church, who's doing a good job.
If you officers will please bring him back to the witness stand.
Would you like to go back to the witness stand and sit down, please?
How's that chair holding up, Bob?
It's reinforced, I'm alright.
Alright, Cipro, if you Cipro and Church will return to your seats. Alright, in the matter of Philip versus the state, Bob, if you will please read out what the...
We have all 3 have voted guilty.
Alright, thank you, Bob. You may return to your seat. Philip, as you have just heard from the jury, you have been unanimously convicted of theft, breaking and entering on the island. However, in consultation with the jury, they have decided to afford you some leniency. Instead of imprisonment, you will be forced to give restitution for the damage you have caused. You will aid those you have been affected by your crimes in restoring the damage. Is this an acceptable sentence to you? If you do not accept, you will be imprisoned.
I accept.
Okay, we have all heard he has accepted his punishment. As restitution for his crimes, he will begin aiding the police department and those affected by his crimes in restoring the damage. I will be the overseer to make sure that you carry out this sentence. Should you refuse to give service to the police department and repair the damage you've caused, I will order the police to imprison you, at which time I will consult with Judge Blue for the length of your sentence. Do you understand these terms as I have given them to you?
Yes. Can.
No, there can be no doubt in this. Do you understand the terms as I have given them to you? You will aid the police, fixing the damage you caused, or you will be imprisoned.
Yes, I do.
All right. This concludes our trial. Jurors, you may be excused at this time. Officers, please come forward. As you officers are aware of the damage he has caused, you will be the ones who will know how much time and effort and resources he has to give you. I would ask that you do not abuse this and obviously go easy on the guy and make sure he does repair the damage he has caused. Philip, you are ordered by me as judge to help these men. If they report to me that you have refused in any way to aid them, they have the authority to imprison you, at which time you will remain there until I consult with Judge Blue. Gentlemen, he is yours. Philip, you may be a witness stand in this courthouse.